Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining. Sent an email to Michael Mo of KULR and let him know that we're waiting. But when he joins, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Just going to invite him to stage, give him a nice warm welcome, and conduct the interview. So we'll keep ourselves up to date. Uh, but yeah, I'll let you guys know if I get anything back.
Hey, Dylan. Or Alloy, I'm sorry.
Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Hey, do you know what was his name? Did he say what the name was?
No, he didn't give me a username to watch out for just yet, but I did ask.
Okay. Well, the reason I say something is I think I saw an account was made a couple days ago with his name on there.
Michael Mo?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, good.
I just can't tell if he's in the town hall. It's Michael Mo underscore 34744. I just can't tell if he's here.
Okay. Yeah, might just be a little bit late, but I did send an email just about 5 minutes ago, so definitely will keep you guys updated so no one feels like their time is wasted. But I think we can be patient a little bit.
Can you right click somebody's name and see if you can add them to the stage? I'm just trying to find out how much you need from me. Oh, sweet, he can do it. All right.
I invited Tig.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and step off the stage and just listen then, all right?
Sounds good.
Okay, wrong button. My bad. Just getting while we're waiting on him, I'm just gonna try to turn off that notification sound. Okay, wrong button. My bad. Just getting while we're waiting on him, I'm just gonna try to turn off that. Okay. Looks like a lot of people are starting to join, just waiting for the CEO to hop in currently. Um, as you can see, Dylan is in here. We're just waiting for the CEO now. Uh, while we're waiting on that, I'm just gonna mess with some settings to try to turn off a couple things.
He just replied and said he logged in as Michael Mo, so just give him a bit to navigate his way through Discord. It's a pretty big application, especially if you haven't used it, but it's looking good. Thanks.
Guess I won't mess with it. We're still live, I believe. We are. I'll just go to the Discord. I'll just let it ride. I will be clipping this into like specific moments as well of the interview and creating like a sort of video content for that for you guys. I'll shut up once they start actually talking, but until then, I'm gonna uh, be narrating a little bit, responding to comments. But once it gets started, I'll respectfully be quiet, right? So, um, Jack, Jack Cohen said, "Let's go." B, what's up, B? Albanian guy. KULR opening at $10. Um, TSA, you can be in either one. Um, the Discord, obviously, if we get too many people in there, it might start experiencing problems, but I'm also streaming it here, so you can do either one. Um, yeah, either one's fine. I appreciate the view on YouTube, but so we're just waiting on th- we're just waiting on him to join up currently. Uh, as you can see, Alloy's gonna be the one interviewing him. I'm gonna record it and then clip it up and make it look prettier in video format, so those that weren't able to make it can watch it because obviously a lot of people are working, etc. Appreciate that TSA. Wise Owl, AH Gang, yes sir. Yeah, Dorn, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I lost a lot of money on Friday, but it's all good. Which is crazy, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'll stream separately on that stuff. We're gonna keep this pretty much KULR related. But I'll cut down the stream into like a 5-10 minute video of highlights as well and compile it into uh, way way more watchable format as well.
Seymour, just in case you're away from the computer, I tagged you with the information that he gave me regarding the user he created. Just in case he's having trouble finding the town hall, I want to make sure that we can guide him if he's around. Oh, he said he's claiming his account.
No, you're good. Sorry, I'm gonna mute my YouTube. Yeah, no. I saw that he was verified on there. I don't see, like, how do I say this? I don't see him in the town hall, so it might just take another minute or two.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget your first time in Discord, how crazy it was. That's what he's dealing with right now. So I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah, he's passed the verification and he agreed to the rules. I'm sure it's just something on his end, and then you got to make sure that your computer is allowing for microphones to be used and all these other things. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I guess he has to DM you that for a second. Here, there he is. Let me invite him up to speak. Let's see if I can save you that one. There we go. I'm gonna go on mute. You guys enjoy.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Seymour.
hey Dylan.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
All right, good morning. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can we hear you? Yeah, we're good.
Okay, great.
All right. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. We're really excited to conduct this interview, but I know you're very busy, so we'll get right to it. And I think everyone here is really interested in KULR's technology in general and what they're doing for battery safety. And so some of the questions, we've already talked about them, but they were created by the community itself. So everyone here is really excited to hear the answers and to know what the next 5 or 10 years look like. So are we ready?
Great. No, thank you for having me, especially on a Saturday. I know everybody is busy right before the holidays, so I appreciate everybody's time.
Yeah, for sure. How have your holidays been so far?
It's been great. I was in Taiwan and Japan just last couple of weeks visiting customers. Come back, and so my headspace is still a little bit disoriented in terms of jet lag and timing. So no, so far so good. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy time to be traveling. Once again, thank you so much for joining on that schedule and that timeline. But all right. So, getting right into it. First question that people had was, were you surprised by the market's reaction to the Bitcoin Reserve press release?
Well, frankly, we didn't know, we weren't quite sure what to expect on the market reaction. So we did a little bit survey a couple of days prior to that, and what the survey showed was that two-thirds of the responses, liked it. One-third didn't. The one-third that didn't, we kind of look at the comments and uh, we kind of, the one-third that didn't, we think that it broke down to to like this. There were people who just didn't like Bitcoin, period. So that's probably about a third of that. And there were people who are concerned about our cash balance, which we addressed in our press release. So hopefully that released some of the, kind of a stress around that. And some people are just concerned about focus, which we don't think that, a Bitcoin reserve affects our operating business. As a matter of fact, we believe that it will affect, it will make our financial position even stronger, longer term. So that was kind of what we read from the survey, and so we went ahead with it. And so far, so good. So welcome to the future of money and the digital energy revolution.
Yeah, welcome to the future of money. Sounds just like a diversification decision, right? Okay, cool.
Yes. Hmm.
As the use of rechargeable batteries expands in production of e-bikes and electric vehicles, what role does KULR see for battery recycling and addressing supply chain challenges?
Sure. So for the EV production, we talked about we work with some of the largest automotive OEMs in that, and for one of the largest automotive OEM in the United States, we provide them with our safe case to store their batteries during their production line. So it is to make their process safer and more efficient. Now, for e-bikes, we're working with the Fire Department of New York to provide them the safe case technology to handle e-bike fires or the e-bike battery fires. We did a live test for the FDNY at our open house in Texas in October. That was very successful. So now we're working with them on the final process of approval for the fire department use. On recycling side, we're working with some of the largest recycling companies in the U.S. and most importantly, some of the logistic partners like UPS, FedEx, and so forth to get the training and the regulatory step handled. We already have the Department of Transportation special permit, so we're completing the last mile delivery, if you will, and then we'll be off to the races in 2025.
Yeah, and I think I speak for everyone when I say, in urban areas especially, thank you for seeing the importance in that. It's when we're talking about electric bikes, electric scooters, anything like that for urban mobility, we're only headed toward a world where it's going to be increasingly important. So thank you. So 2025 is looking to be a really exciting and interesting year for flying electric vehicles. What are your thoughts on this market, and what is the potential impact on KULR, if any?
You meant flying vehicles? You mean like eVTOL, things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, so no, I think that it's definitely gonna be a big market. I think the market is growing. We already work with some of the largest eVTOL companies for the battery testing and some other technology as well. I think that the market, in terms of volume, is still early, but it's definitely gaining traction. And the new administration has a new mandate to push that as well, so that's great. I was just in Japan, and they are very much invest in that area, electric aviation, especially the urban transportation side. They're very much invested in the space economy, and they're very focused on semiconductors. So I think those cross sections are coming together, where it's gonna, 2025 year is gonna be a very it's gonna be a very pivotal moment for that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So when we're talking about large consumer products in general, thermal runaway is a really critical safety concern. We've touched on that and how it's going to be increasingly a concern moving forward. How is KULR addressing these challenges, particularly in high performance systems, maybe like eVTOLs, electric vehicles, Teslas, that kind of thing? That's on people's mind right now.
Yeah. So thermal runaway is kind of like our bread and butter. So we have, over the years, we've developed a broad range of products and services to test, design, and produce high-performance battery packs, specifically addressing the thermal runaway safety issue. Some of the examples, for example, our internal short circuit ISC trigger cell. This is what NASA invented to test their astronauts' backpack, and then we became the exclusive licensing partner for that since 2018. And so far, we've served well over 100 partners and customers with that technology. So, working with regulatory bodies, manufacturers, and so forth to get that product integrated. And our thermal runaway shield product is our own patented proprietary product. It's been on the International Space Station since 2019 to protect the portable batteries, the laptops, the tablets on the ISS for the astronauts. So that's a technology that we have deployed into electric plane like H-55, energy storage products and so forth, as well as our safe case. So that's another product that we address. Then there's our KULR One space platform in general, and that's the KULR One platform is qualified to be part of the NASA Artemis mission. And so, it follows the highest safety rating from NASA Johnson Space Center. And now we're applying that technology into commercial applications and electric aviation. So our mission is really to license and develop these space-proven technologies and then get them to the price point and scale that they can deploy into these mass market consumer applications.
Excellent. Yeah, no, there's a long history of consumer technology, safety-driven technology, and regulatory safety technology coming from really high, standards out of NASA, out of space exploration. So that tracks with a sort of patriotism around these things. Everyone appreciates that, I think, long term.
Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when we diversify out of oil and gas into an EV future, how do you see the domestic production of lithium batteries evolving for consumer products, especially with new U.S. lithium reserves?
Yeah, I think it's an extremely important topic, but frankly, we are not too involved in that part of supply chain from the material perspective. We're more focused on the application level, but we do work with a lot of the domestic cell manufacturers that's coming online, that's being nurtured and developing the supply chain here. We supply them with our application layer. That kind of stack, that layer of applications for the battery safety. So certainly very important for the supply chain safety. Frankly, we're not as deeply involved in that as we're at the application level.
Sure. Yeah. And speaking of just that, when we make comparisons on a global scale, some people have brought up that countries like Japan and some European nations have made pretty significant strides in developing bidirectional charging infrastructure. Why do you think the US has been slower to adopt some of this technology? Are we slower? Is it just caution?
I think it's probably due to consumer behavior and cultural differences. When you look at European countries and especially Asian nations like Japan and Taiwan and the rest of the that part of the world, they're generally more densely populated than the U.S. And their energy constraints are much higher than the U.S. I mean, we are fortunate in the U.S. that we live in a society of almost the most abundance compared to the rest of the world. So some of the energy constraint and conservation principles, if you will, it's more practiced in that part of the world just due to their resource constraints and how densely populated that demographics is.
Okay. I'm hesitating to add three more questions. That is a fascinating topic because we're headed toward a situation where people are moving out of cities into more rural areas in the United States, which really tacks onto that category of abundance you just mentioned. But I'm going to refrain. We're going to go to the next question. But thank you so much. That's a great perspective. How does KULR's expertise in thermal management play a role in overcoming these challenges related to promoting forward thinking when it comes to that bidirectional charging infrastructure. Does KULR play a role in enabling that for the United States, or does it just go back to what you said? It's cultural, it's systemic, and it's not so much related to our needs.
Yeah, I would say that we'll apply our technology to where we hear the market is asking us to do. So, like you said, in the U.S., it's less of a topic of focus, if you will, right? But for what we do for thermal management, thermal runaway management, it's all about energy efficiency and resilience. So it is how can you do more with less? Even in the society of abundance, you still don't want to waste. So we're our focus is around that, and heat in a system is wasted energy, right? So vibration is wasted energy as well in the form of friction that causes noise, heat, and wear and tear in equipment. So those are the kind of the topics that our solution and we try to build technologies and products around that. I would go back to like one of my favorite quotes from Nikola Tesla, which is if you want to understand the secret of universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So I guess we're working on 2/3 of the secret of the universe right now.
Excellent. Love that. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed with the Nikola Tesla quote. And yeah, I agree. That's at the core of our evolution is efficiency. Okay. So where do you see the next 5 years of focus and innovation on that note?
Oh, I think there's just going to be unbelievable amount of innovation in the industry. Not just KULR. We're riding the wave of absolutely unbelievable innovations for the next 5 years, and just can't even imagine what end of 2028 will kind of look like. So a couple of main themes, right? AI. I mean, everybody talk about AI, but you're looking at AI in the cloud, which is ChatGPT and large language models, and that consumes so much energy and so much promise around that. And you also have AI at the edge, which I think it's frankly it's a little bit even more exciting than the AI at the cloud level. And this is where we see opportunities for our KULR Zero Vibe technology. We announced that we're integrating that with the NVIDIA Jetson Nano platform, which is really their technology for the AI at the edge, AI agents. This is a supercomputer at the edge at low cost and low power consumption. That's super exciting. And when you integrate that at the edge, you can do so much more in a distributed fashion. So super excited about AI, space economy, and that's going to be a $1.8 trillion economy. And space battery, it's likely to be about a $6 billion market. And anything that goes to space, you need solar to be the capture, and you need battery to be the energy source. You could have nuclear, from time, in time, but you still need the local storage. So we want to be the energy company for the space economy. That's with our KULR One Space platform. So lots of innovation that we would ride with the industry. Energy transition, to electrification. That's you talk about bidirectional. You talk about all of the above. That's a market. Frankly, all of our innovation technology can apply to. Super excited about that. So these are just the application in a couple of years from now, and there are going to be many more we haven't even dreamed about. So fundamentally speaking, all of our KULR innovation going forward is going to be around energy efficiency, data-driven innovation, AI-powered, increasingly adding robotic automation into the process, and then kind of combine all of that into energy management.
Excellent. Okay. Really good. You got your 5-year prediction, everybody. AI, space, and battery technology, solar, important for local storage. You can't do it all by packing some form of energy on board. You've got to accumulate. Right. Okay. So when we look at what it will take to make that future possible, I think this next question could be key. Is this the time for greater investment in the battery innovation and energy storage markets from the public, from government? Are we doing enough to reach that future?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely this is a great time to invest in the future of applications. Because you see some fundamental economic drivers in the market. Some of it's macro, some of it I'm just focused on what that means for KULR. So from the macro level, you're seeing an acceleration of battery cell cost drop below $50 per kilowatt hour, right? So you got different chemistries coming up, you got high performance, you got commodity products, but overall the price of the batteries is dropping dramatically. So that's a positive. And then you have energy demand will skyrocket in the next 10 years, due to AI, electrification. So time shifting and energy storage, after the generation will be increasingly important. That's just the future architecture of energy, right? So and also then you look at, near term, the US market will experience more volatility and consolidation in 2025 due to economic and some policy uncertainties coming in, right? But this is precisely the best time for KULR. This is more on the micro level to invest in and potentially acquire new technologies and businesses and to really to reinforce and expand our leadership position, right? As the one-stop shop that our customers can trust and rely on. You can emerge as a stronger player, right? So now we have the strong balance sheet with no debt. We have access to low cost capital to grow. We're growing our top line. We're growing our gross margin. We're growing our customer base while we're reducing our cost. So I really believe that we're probably one of the better positioned companies in our industry to serve our customers. In the market cycle will come back. May not be 2025, maybe 2026, maybe 2027. But when it comes back, it's gonna roar back, and we definitely want to position KULR as a clear leader in our industry when the cycle comes back.
Yeah, absolutely. And thinking that far ahead, I think most people would agree, especially those in the audience, that KULR is well positioned um, to promote that future that we all want so badly. Yeah. So when we're talking about KULR's positioning, what are some of the challenges associated with reaching revenue goals? What is really about that uncertainty affecting KULR in the future?
Hi, Dylan, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Michael?
Hello, hello,
Yes, we can hear you.
hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Michael.
Dylan, can you hear me? Yeah, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. You might have lost me for a bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just talking about all the things that are going right and how well positioned KULR is. I think that's really attracted a lot of public investment is the fundamentals, the financials, and their willingness to believe in that future we're talking about. What, if any, challenges are associated with reaching revenue goals in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so very good question. Historically, our customer base and our, the design, the production time from a customer is long, and it's not in our control. So revenue recognition and their ramp time will continue to be lumpy, in the short term. But longer term, we're absolutely on a tremendous growth cycle. So those are historically and will probably continue in the near term continue to be some of the challenges. The other challenge is finding the right talent to join KULR. It's all about the team and the people. So we would love to talk to more talented people in our industry to join KULR. Help us to market our products to many more industries, applications where your specialties are, and ramp up ourselves. If you're great at what you do in those markets and you think that KULR's product can apply to your specialty vertical, give us a call. We would love to have you join the KULR team, and you will make more money, and we will make more money, and ultimately our shareholders will make more money. So it's a win-win-win. So come join us.
Yeah, I love that approach. Growth is hard internally. Picking the right team, job creation is critical, but understanding who should be on that side of it is so difficult. So I wish KULR luck personally in finding the perfect team. That's what we all want. So
Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to skip question 11. I'm going to go to 12 because we've talked a little bit about KULR's plan to expand already. So I appreciate you drilling into that. So the 12th question is, can the technology extend to the nuclear sector, which you've talked a little bit about, as small modular reactors receive more research funding?
Yeah, no, this is an interesting one. We talked about, we have seen some interest in our carbon fiber cathode, which frankly is a product that we have developed for the US US Navy and the Air Force Research Lab for um, um, their high power some of the research actually for the cathode product. So now we've seen nuclear reactors interest in that. So we have supplied some customers with that technology. I was just in Asia, and as you know, that Japan is very big on nuclear. Historically, it's probably the biggest deployment of nuclear infrastructure in the world. So there is a lot of interest around that. There's also interest on thermal management of the nuclear reactors for the cooling pipes. That it's we've heard some wear and tear, some mechanical stress put on those cooling pumps due to vibration. So looking at working with partners over there to apply cooler vibe to serve that markets as well. So who would have known that a company do space and lithium-ion battery all of a sudden get into a nuclear reactor market? But here we are.
Yeah, it's all connected. I appreciate that aspect of it. Like you talked about with things like the ISS and space exploration and a sort of permanence outside of orbit, there's nuclear, sure, but you need solar for local storage. So it makes perfect sense. As we think toward the future of smarter energy grids in the United States, houses are being built to support large battery arrays in the future. And for some, that might sound scary because it's a huge amount of energy stored in a very small space, square meter wise. How important is the resilience and safety of that technology to the insurance and regulatory bodies?
Oh, I think it's critical, right? So so from a macro level, you talk about distributed energy. I think distributed energy is crucial to the resilience of the smart energy grid and the future of energy, right? So when you have decentralized distributed energy, then you can talk about resilience. And then each one of these energy units must meet really high level of safety standards to get the regulators, fire marshals, insurance companies comfortable, and then you can have your home property insurance for businesses, property casualty, and then we're already seeing some customers having challenge getting that. So we talked about in our at our open house, we hosted a panel with insurance companies, customers, and fire department folks to kind of have a forum to talk about that and how KULR can be helpful to give them that the data and technology to do that. So no, I mean I think it's critical. And it comes back to our mission, which is applying these space proven technologies for the commercial world, where both our safety technology and our data driven approach is needed for the insurance company and the regulatory bodies. So when you step back and when you look at the architecture of the energy going forward, it's like many other large systems like computing and also money, right? So distributed, decentralized is the future, right?
Excellent.
So Bitcoin is the future of money. It's a totally decentralized and monetary system. Michael Saylor calls it the digital energy. I mean, how brilliant is that? It's AI agent is distributed intelligence. So I think that when you come to KULR, I believe that the future of KULR is about distributed architecture of energy, intelligence, and money. So we're really standing on some of the giants in the industry and in the history, if you will. And these are, we're just super fortunate to learn from these folks and then have the opportunity to build this the future of KULR, and super excited about that.
Yeah, it's beautiful to hear the incremental stages that like you said, we're standing on the shoulders of giants and that this is where we are. It clicks, it makes sense, and I'm excited for a decentralized future. I agree with the statement about resilience, that's what we need. So, last question. On X, the KULR account posted a picture of a lovely turkey robot for Thanksgiving and nodded toward an upcoming announcement. Has this announcement been made yet?
Well, frankly, it's my PR and our guys was having too much fun getting ready for Turkey Day. Maybe start drinking a couple of days too early. But it's fine. As you know, we continue to be on a pretty good cadence on press releases and news releases to keep our all of our stakeholders updated. Sometimes it's good to have a little fun into the holidays. And you can't beat it, right? So, but our number one goal is still making money for our shareholders, and sometimes having some fun with it. And it's a blessing. Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to invest. I don't know about everybody else here, but I don't want to invest in any company that's not having a little bit of fun.
All right, that's a good wrap. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Michael, so much. I really appreciate your time and attention to this. I'm glad that KULR is focused on the future, and I'm glad that the team is happy and is having fun during the holidays. And I've been told I have to give this one-liner, so I'm going to give it. There are a lot of companies out there, but yours is KULR.
Wow. Can I borrow that in the holidays? Yeah.
Yes. I think the whole community gives you permission. They came up with that. I thought it was pretty clever too. So it's a little bit corny, but we have to have fun now and then. So we really appreciate your time and thank you so much for joining. We know you're busy, so we'll let you go. But it was really exciting for everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for spending your time with me on Saturday, right before Christmas. So appreciate that, and everybody, everybody, you take care of yourself, and then best of luck to all of us.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to join the team, and they're interested in battery technology and they're going to school for that, and when they graduate, they're looking for a job, I think you should look toward KULR based on this. Thank you again. Have a good one, Michael.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Great job, everyone. I think it's a good community, and I think he enjoyed it a lot. So hopefully we all learned something and that it was a little bit fun and that there's more of these in the future, frankly. That would be really exciting. I'll go ahead and put the questions in the chat. We'll put them in one of the main channels, and we'll go from there. But what's the consensus? We did a good job. Do you think he enjoyed it is the big question. I appreciate so much the compliments, but I'll be honest, it's pretty easy to ask pre-written questions and not say something weird. So we did a good job on that part, but did he sound confident? Did he sound like he enjoyed it? That's the big question, I think. It's hard to tell when I'm the one asking the questions, but I'm interested to hear what people think.
Hey, Dylan, T-Bone here. I think, yeah, you did a great job. I think the interview was great. I loved your structure, the timing, the pauses, just the, just listening, forget the content, just listening to it, it flowed real smooth. My feeling was in the beginning, and he mentioned it himself, he was a tad disoriented. You could tell he was trying to get his bearings. He was probably late and logging into the Discord, may have had technical issues, but I could feel him warming up. I think some of the information he shared was amazing. I'd love if somehow you guys can create a couple of snippets, maybe pass it on to some, even get some PR, some media involved. Say, hey, we had KULR CEO, and he said ABC about Bitcoin, the future, I like what he talked about the Asian EV market and all that stuff. I mean, there was a lot of awesome information, and he did it all for free. just to kind of maybe help promote his company. But I felt like he was just trying to get the word out. But anyway, dude, I think you did a great job. I think Day Zero did an awesome job on the YouTube channel. You guys kicked ass, and I think we should do this more often. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a great lucid summary that I don't have. I don't have that ability to think on that level right now because obviously just asking the questions, trying to do good. But yeah, you're right. A lot of stuff going on. Holidays, jet lag. Good to hear that it was natural and that it seemed like he warmed up over time. And someone said he's really humble. I agree. I think that lends to their financial situation, that they have not over leveraged into any one position for the company and that they're still strong going through this stage, and that he's aware that there's uncertainty going forward in the macros. Like, he understands KULR's role in the battery safety and storage space, but also that the economy in general for most countries, if not every country, is going to be really tumultuous going forward. There's a lot of people who get upset when you talk about uncertainty. We saw the market's reaction. He sounds like the type of gentleman who respects those parts of the market before they occur and is positioned to weather those situations. So, yeah, really humble, really smart guy. Enjoyed talking to him for sure. He was delightful. Anyone else want to give their thoughts on the interview? Just request to talk and I'll go ahead and give you permission. Or you might just be able to join the stage. I'm not sure. Yeah, sure. Day Zero. Oh, okay. Yeah, Seymour, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Day Zero wanted to get up here, but no, I'm about to leave, so I just wanted to say good job. You did a phenomenal job talking to him all those questions. I wish he had more time so that way he could take some community questions too. But it's everything that, like T-Bone said earlier, just working through it all. He's trying to get through that information, and he knows his business. So being able to speak to that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Great job though.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Cheddar, Day Zero.
Cheddar can go first.
The biggest takeaway that I got from that was that guy's smart. Like, in answering your questions, I know that you gave him questions beforehand and he was able to kind of prepare for the interview, but he knows. I feel like one of the biggest problems that we have with CEOs today is that, they just kind of CEO hop between businesses, and a lot of the time they don't really know their business. But that guy gave me a lot of confidence. Like, you can tell he comes from a scientific background. He's a really smart guy. I don't know. I think he's the right person to be leading a company like that, and he'll definitely steer it in the right direction. It sounds promising, everything that he said.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Day Zero, how'd it go?
Yeah, so other than that small tech issue, like that ran perfectly. Like there was no hiccups other than that minor infraction. As far as the interviewee, right? He was a hyper intelligent individual. Like it just showed, like he showed his stripes 100%. It was a foreign environment to him, and he adapted so quickly to Discord. That was pretty impressive. And then from the interviewer standpoint, those were some pretty great questions. Obviously, there's stuff that probably got denied or that he couldn't talk about. But I did like stuff he hinted towards, especially with the Bitcoin reserve, as well as he jumped into some more sensitive topics than I thought he would have been comfortable answering, and he answered them as if he was wearing his pajamas on a Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. The detail he went into was really generous. I agree, especially about the Bitcoin stuff and decentralization. He's clearly bullish on that whole form of the economy. When other people are still uncertain or they're still deciding whether or not they should invest in things like Bitcoin or decentralized economies, he is very bullish on it. He understands the role it plays in making things more resilient. You can't just have everything in one place, is sort of the nutshell philosophy there. Again, diversified company, really cool. And I agree with what he said about. I didn't want to phrase it like this, but hiring is hard. Building a team is hard, and if you are in a scientific field and you're leaning that direction, is energy storage, fundamental parts of physics, and implementing systems really efficiently. I second what he said. Like, apply to work at KULR. I don't think you'll lack job security moving forward based on that conversation. You'll be a part of a growing company like everyone wants to be. It's a very lucky situation to be alive in this time when a good leader is running a big show. And yeah, he's sort of on the main stage of this stuff. So someone said even giving me Jensen vibes. Big statement right there, but I think I share that opinion that he reminds me of early NVIDIA in an industry that's going to grow perhaps just as quick, if not quicker, when we really get ramped up on this technology. I mean, like NVIDIA is used for simulations for NASA, but they're not used on board for NASA. So that's sort
there's
of
a
the
lot of
comparison I'm making.
sorry to cut you off, but there's so many physical applications for this technology, like you're saying. It's not just like in the cyberspace. Like these are physical products that can go into physical locations, such as like you were saying, NASA, any kind of space exploration, any kind of space missions, any kind of eVTOL aircraft, any kind of aircraft in general, including electric aircraft, electric vehicles in general, electric robots. Like there's a whole bunch of different applications for this technology, and that's just what we know of so far. Like there could be leaps in technology going into the future, stuff we haven't even thought about, stuff that was in like some sci-fi stuff, and this technology will be used in those future applications. So that's what leaves me bullish on this company.
All right. Anyone else want to talk? While we're still in town hall, we'll probably just head over to party hall and it'll be chaos. But for now, while we've got this audience. All right. Cool. Thanks for joining. This was really fun. Appreciate you
So
all.
I did have a few questions on the YouTube stream. There was some people that were wanting to ask the CEO questions, obviously, but he didn't take a Q&A, which is understandable. He's a busy. I mean, what CEO should have time for uh, Q&A questions, right? But they were wondering about KULR's role in reclamation, recycling, and reuse of batteries, as well as KULR's thermal management. Is it just materials and geometry, or do they also use sensors and active thermal components? But obviously, we weren't able to get to those questions, but I did think I'd throw those out in the air.
Yeah, I don't remember reclamation and recycling being a big part of the questions or any of the in-depth answers he gave. But yeah, we talked a little bit about the growth of the entire sector and efficiency. I'm sure that stuff is on his mind whenever it's feasible. I would be shocked if it wasn't on his radar. All right, I'm out. I'll be in party hall. I'll probably be muted for a little bit. Grab myself some water. You know the drill. But again, really appreciate you guys. What an awesome community. Smart questions. Just to compare, if you know any of this was announced on Reddit, and you're like, give me some questions, it would have been 360 no scope comments. We didn't have any of that here in After Hour. We really tried, and we got good results. So awesome community. Everyone should feel really lucky to be a part of it. I know I do. And for the 17th time, thank you so much for making it possible. Appreciate you all.
Thank you guys on the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. That was a really wonderful interview, and I hope to have other CEOs in the future, as well as have you guys in the future, as well as viewers, because